I'm a 2.3 out of 5, which is awesome.
Am I addicted to Grindr? Yes.
There's this thing that just says, oh, there's another date on the line. Like, ding, you just got a new match.
When you've had a bad date or someone's rejected you, you go straight back onto the gambling app.
In fact, they sort of create an atmosphere that psychotherapists would historically have regarded as slightly pathological.
I'm on a date, a girl called Lucy.
So in the last week, I spent 8.5 hours on Grindr.
Why don't you delete the app?
Okay, let's calm down.
I feel like I've been born in the wrong era because I value romance, focus, a level of manners and compassion and empathy for others, and I feel like the era of online dating just doesn't offer me that. I started using Tinder and I used that for years, and then Bumble. That's my profile picture. I have pictures there and I can see how I've been reviewed. Just gonna get rated like everything else. That's kind of depressing.
I started using dating apps probably around second year of uni, and it was Grindr. I went straight to Grindr. So what we've got here is the grid. This bit is basically where you can fill in little details about yourself. So height, position. There's people who would say things like no chubbies, no fats, fit only.
I use Tinder mostly. That's pretty much the only one I use. I'll use it every day. I talk to people on it quite a lot. I go for dates on quite a lot.
Let's see your profile.
My profile. Here's my profile. It's me in the sun. Looking a bit naked, but I'm not. That's a photo of my friend Turk. That's me with my sunnies on. That's a photo of me with a black eye because I look like a goon.
I think it is important to note that there are some difficulties in mental health that are arising around the use of dating apps. In fact, they sort of create an atmosphere that psychotherapists would historically have regarded as slightly pathological and narcissistic. The way these apps are designed are around appearances. They're around non-emotional online communication rather than offline communication, and they're about ubiquity and endless promise.
Yesterdays were oh so gloomy. It's through.
So this is where I work. Deadly is the female. So Claudia, I've been put off a bit like online dating generally, and I know that you did it, but maybe, I don't know, maybe did you have a little bit of a better time with it than me, or how did you find it when you were doing it?
I had some pretty bad stories, tried to laugh it off, tried to, be like, oh, well, it's all about the stories.
It's all about the stories for the girls, which we do love,
We do love a dating story, and there were some shockers. And I met a guy who I thought looked lovely, and we met up, and it was nice, and it was good, and now we're married.
So it can work.
It can, yeah, we have a Tinder toddler, and I don't think we would have met if it hadn't been, because I don't know how you meet people.
I can be out in a pub. I'm like, oh my God, and I just speak to people in real life, but they're still on all the apps. So my real life people I'm meeting are still on the apps, and maybe they're not motivated to speak to the girl in the pub because I'll swipe on the way home.
Yeah.
So it is this weird feeling of like leaving the online dating cult and realising everyone's still in it. So you're kind of screwed either way. I went for a weekend with a guy, and we were getting on really nicely, and the next day I came down and realised he was swiping on Tinder like in the kitchen on our weekend away, and I thought, wow, you couldn't even wait till I'd gone home. I kind of feel like those guys are making me feel like a novelty, like a little variation for you of different ones you want to sample.
Ghosting, benching, breadcrumbing, submarining. If you look at these are actually descriptions of behaviour that is highly, highly damaging, and yet it's been normalised in these apps.
So I've never, to this day, met up with a guy who hasn't been from Grindr. Am I addicted to Grindr? Yes, definitely. I definitely use it as a source of validation. There's a lot of pressure to fit this perfect body mold, the six-pack mold, the toned, the muscular. So I'm just going to show you a before picture. This was taken in 2016, and then the after was taken this year in 2018. If I get rejected on Grindr, it's instantly linked to my weight.
The problem with these apps is that they focus only on one aspect, which is how we look. And it's not only that, it's how we look in a photo, and it's probably how we look in a photo that we've in some way doctored. When we're seeking validation of ourselves, we're not really seeking validation of how we look. We're seeking validation of something much deeper. Are we lovable?
I think the nature of like the swiping, it breeds this idea of, you know, like availability of people, and that for me definitely like has kept me single. Yeah, you can blindside people where you might actually like have like a really long, prosperous, happy relationship with, because there's this thing that just says, oh, there's another date on the line. Like, so, like ding, you just got a new match, like loads of love heart eyes.
Trying to figure out what to wear tonight for this date. First time ever I'm not going through Grindr, and we actually met through Instagram. iPhone's new update has screen time activity. So in the last week I spent 8.5 hours on Grindr. Yeah, I mean, it's shocking, isn't it, how much time I spent on it.
So there is some questions around about whether these apps are addictive. When you look at the app itself, it very clearly has qualities that can, in some circumstances, it can encourage addiction. There is the repetitive action of swiping, which everyone knows is soothing in the case of anxiety. And then there's the dopamine hit, that when you've been searching, you get what you've been looking for, which is a match.
What's going to happen tonight?
I'm on a date, a girl called Lucy. She goes to my uni.
What are you expecting tonight, Will?
Yeah, I wouldn't say anything serious, you know, just like fun, just casual. The thing is, if I was to find someone who was like ticked every box, I wouldn't automatically not want to be in like a relationship. So it's not really about like men's attitudes. It's just that like, well, there's just so many arseholes out there. There's so many just nasty guys.
Do you think anyone could think like that about you, or Will?
I'm sure some people do, yeah. For sure. But like, I think that would be a bit misconstrued. I'm not intentionally like nasty, you know. I lay things out how they are.
Now, of course, not everybody is going to treat people badly, but what it does is it sort of creates an atmosphere where it's much more permissive for us to pursue self-gratification, to pursue pleasure, and to avoid pain.
I don't really have any expectations. I think I've reached a point now when I go on first dates that I try and limit the amount of expectations I have. I think that's just after a series of bad dates or a series of bad connections. I think I'm very excited by the fact that this is not someone I've met through Grindr. I think if it goes well, maybe I'll DM more people. But, you know, I think my addiction to Grindr is probably much deeper than that.
Do you want a drink?
Do you use Tinder a lot? What do you think about dating apps?
I mean, I'm quite old-fashioned, so I like to meet someone in real life, but it seems pretty hard these days. And I feel like if everyone is using Tinder, then you just kind of have to hop on board.
Yeah, she's a lovely girl. She's really nice looking. Interesting, if she's the one. You never know. Alright. Cheers.
When you've had a bad date or someone's rejected you, you don't take time to calm and think, you know, what was that? You go straight back onto the gambling app to boost your self-esteem, to make you feel better. Like, I'm still cute, like that didn't work out, but I'm still attractive, these guys still want me. So it's a real vicious cycle.
If you feel that you're misusing it, you need to start looking at your behavioural patterns and how they might change. Go cold turkey if you want to go cold turkey, but what I would recommend is that people start with just reducing it. Turn off your notifications. A lot of times during the day when you can use it, notice when you're craving it. And when you're craving it, don't sit on your hands. Don't go back to the phone. Don't sit on your hands. Do something else. Find something offline that makes you feel good. Talk to your friends, get some exercise, go for a walk.
Oh, so it was good.
It was really good. And I haven't been on Grindr since.
What? You haven't logged in or anything?
No.
I don't know if I believe you.
Trust me.
Genuinely.
Actually, at one point I clicked on it, but more of habit of my fingers.
Right.
And I closed it instantly because I was like,
why
whoa.
don't you delete the app?
Okay, let's calm down. It's a whole new way for me because on an app, it's so easy for anyone to treat you in whatever way they want.
It's just a numbers game, like, because chances are the person you're connecting with is also connecting with other people, you might get dropped, so you should then go and like...
So that's what a lot of people are doing, and I think that's when it comes into like breadcrumbing. And you just keep tons of them, lots warm, keep breadcrumbing them, and then keep them all attached.
That is horrible, but so human nature.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's playing the game, right?
Yeah.
You have no choice.
Than to play
It's
it.
like no one wants to play Monopoly, but sometimes you just gotta be like, deal me in, you know? Like...
These difficulties that we're seeing in our rooms and that people are talking about will be the things that drive us to have better relationships online. And they will be the things that drive the developers to develop better, more intuitive, more responsible dating apps that cater to our needs beyond basic appearance.
You play into roles so much, like that's a huge thing. You play into the roles that you are expected of and are expected of you.
It's easy to get nostalgic about the past before dating apps. Everyone could have been an arsehole then and an arsehole now, and everyone did fall in love then, and people can still fall in love now. The difference is you weren't out to find romance every second of the day back then. It came intermittently when you connected in real life. Now you've come off it, maybe you will meet somebody, and yeah, that would be lovely to have a partner. It'd be great.